And welcome back, everyone, to episode 4 of the Honest Truth Sports Podcast. On today's episode, we will talk about the AFC and NFC championship recaps. We will go into a little bit of basketball talk about the recent LeBron news over the past weekend. And my guest, Steven, and I will also talk a little bit more golf as we had a recent controversy in the golf world, and we will talk a little bit more about Max Homa as well. So tune in to today's episode. You will not want to miss this because this is the Honest Truth Sports Podcast. Where are you tired of all the fake hot takes? Well, this is this podcast for you where we only speak the truth. No BS, only the hottest and realist takes in the sports industry, where we put the realism into journalism. Thank you and enjoy the episode.
Got it. Okay.
So bad. All right.
Oh my gosh.
I'm ready.
This is
quite the intro.
Yeah. All right. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into our first topic of the day, where we are going to recap the AFC and NFC championship games. I think we should go chronologically here. So the NFC game will go first. I don't know who wants to talk first, but just go ahead and give me an overall synopsis of what you thought of the game, and we can go from there. Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll go. I mean, it was an absolute snooze fest of a game after Purdy got hurt.
Wait, you actually watched the game? Because I was napping. That's how awful the game was.
Yeah, I was just scrolling on TikTok for most of it, to be honest with you.
I stopped watching after the first drive the 49ers had.
You know, as soon as that they showed the replay 1,000 times, because I mean one replay of it is not enough apparently. I knew right away he tore his UCL. Obviously we're all baseball player. Nathan, knock on wood, hopefully you don't ever experience that. I may have experienced a partial tear in my UCL, but he completely ruptured that son of a gun. So, and I did get news, notification
I saw
today.
That too.
Yeah, that he completely ruptured it. So it's a 6-month process, which I don't know how that works because
throwing a football
is 9 months.
Throwing a football is different in terms of recovery process. Like, people can be back throwing a football a lot quicker than they can be throwing a baseball.
That's good news for the 49ers because I don't know. I mean, Trey Lance is not the answer, but so I guess that was the biggest talking point of the game was Brock Purdy got hurt and was like, all right, let's figure this out. It was such a snoozer, like you said, Nate. It was so bad. I mean, the defense made it interesting for the first half, but when Josh Johnson fumbled that ball and they got the ball and the Eagles got the ball back, that was game over. When that happened, there was no way the 49ers were going to be able to keep it close because the defense was on the field for 50 or it was 90% of the game. Some unreal number. It was there's no way you can and I love the fact that everybody on social media was like, oh, it doesn't matter, we scored 31 points. The reason why you scored 31 points is because the defense was out there the entire game. They're tired. They're trying to say the first 5 possessions you weren't able to score. Of course you're going to be able to score after the next 5. It's just how it is. Everybody's dead after the first 5. So it was not the prediction I had, obviously, but
yeah,
I don't know about you, Nate.
I mean, the Eagles getting into the Super Bowl has to be one of the easiest cakewalks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You played the Giants, killed them, and then you go against the 49ers. Their quarterback gets hurt. in the first 10 minutes of the game, and then their next quarterback gets hurt. I mean, they're
They're
playing.
just cycling him in. It's
They're
like,
just
hey,
cycling.
who wants to throw a pass today? You know, you
I
go in.
know.
No, you go in.
The
It's like
49ers
the
had the worst
Spider-Man
QB luck.
pointing on meme. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
It's like you.
Pointing
Like,
at each other.
God, come on. Like nobody can not get hurt on the 49er depth chart.
They for sure had the worst QB luck all year. I mean, it started off second game, Trey Lance getting hurt. Then later on down the road, Jimmy G hurts his foot again as well. And then you have, Mr. Irrelevant trying to come in, and he takes them to where they need to be. But then right when that big game, the NFC Championship game, all they need to do is play a clean game, and they probably could have made it a close game, interesting game. But sure enough, it probably was the second drive, right? I think it was the second drive.
No, first drive, I think.
I
Right?
thought it was the second one. I think they did like a 3-and-out in the first drive.
Yeah, I think it was the second.
Okay.
Because I think they had the ball first to start, didn't score. Then the Eagles scored right away. No, wait, never mind. Eagles had the ball to start.
Yeah.
They scored right away. And then, now that I'm thinking about it, it might have been the first drive because it was really early in the game.
Yeah, it was like, okay, game over.
It was like, didn't happen at like the 5-minute mark in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was literally. I think I want to say it was the second play of the drive. Came back and it was like, or no, they had a big completion, right? And then they were trying to make another like big play, and obviously for whatever reason they decided to put their backup tight end on Reddick, who having his best year of his entire career. Let's just make him play 1-1 on him, and no, just bozos over him and snap his arm in half. Like, what are you doing? Like, from that point on, you knew it was over. Like, after seeing that replay, I knew his arm was gone. I thought for a second they were gonna put the shot in him and be able to come back in the second half, but when he was not able to throw more than 5 yards, you knew right away he tore his arm. Like it was bad.
They kept saying that he had instant numbness in the hand and fingers. So like, us being ball players, like, or baseball players, we know that like that's a common side effect and sign that like you messed up your elbow. Like you probably tore your UCL. And sure enough, they confirmed it today that he tore his UCL.
Yeah.
And like I was saying the entire time watching it, I was like, okay, I don't need to see this replay more than one time to dictate that he tore his UCL. I was like, your arm should not be moving forward where your bicep is coming this way.
You can't even do it.
Your forearm is going back. Like that. Yeah. That creates so much stress and pressure to come back this way as you're intending to come forward.
Right.
Like baseball players, you see the pictures all the time where like their arm is like just
parallel to the ground. Yeah.
But that's because they're already in the motion of whipping it forward.
Mm-hmm.
You're okay to whip it forward, but if it then intends to just snap back, you can just kiss your elbow goodbye because that just breaks the tendon.
Yeah. It was not a pretty sight to see. I mean, I cannot imagine. It didn't seem like he reacted, which is surprising. I don't think I saw him like grunting like, oh my gosh, my arm is like completely destroyed. It was like, oh, okay, fumble. Let's try to make a play out of it, or I don't know. It was bizarre. I think for a moment there, I thought he had a chance to come back, but he had no reaction.
I think what really stemmed from it was obviously the football contact of the play. Like he got hit in the forearm, so like obviously that hurt, and then he got taken to the ground. So like I don't think initially he felt the pop that most pitchers in baseball would feel. So he probably was just like, okay, why can I not feel my hand right now? And he was like, am I able to grip a football? clearly was just he couldn't. He was pushing.
Yeah.
He was pushing passes out there
Oh yeah.
when they brought him back in after Christian McCaffrey threw the ball down 40 yards with nobody in sight.
No one
Yeah.
there.
What was
surprised
he
that
trying to
wasn't
throw
intentional
to?
grounding.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to
To
say
the- to
somebody
the
who
s-
fell on the route.
He was trying to throw it over them mountain, wasn't he? That's what he was trying to do.
It seemed like it.
Yeah. And
Feel bad
anyway,
for 'em. And the
shall
play
we
that
move on?
yeah.
I was gonna say there's
Well,
really not much else to talk about this NFC game. The
No,
Eagles.
no, no. I do have more input.
Oh, do you?
Can we say that the Eagles are for real? Or did they get lucky like Nate said? They got essentially like
they're good.
2 buys
I think
or 3 buys.
I think they are for real.
Yeah.
Like
But
I mean,
definitely lucky.
you can't get to this point in the season. They're clearly at the Super Bowl. Like they did their job, and as a football team, you have to come in and week out and do your job. You are paid to be a football player and do your job. And it just turns out that that's how it's happened, and they've
Mhm.
came in and week out and just
Yep.
done their job. They are a well-rounded team. I think that truly they're going to be hard to stop, especially with the run game. Like that's what they're really good at. They're good at running the ball, and like I think
I don't think they got a
Nate's gotta
sack.
go with the lasagna, don't you?
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah, I heard that.
Dad's home. I'm good.
Oh, Dad's home.
Hurry up.
Okay,
Go get it.
I'm
then
good.
you don't
I'm
need to.
good.
What was I trying to say? Yeah, but no, I think
Yeah, the
Jalen
line.
Stats was very, very low. I don't think he had more than 150 yards passing because
No, he
it didn't it didn't help that like they weren't in the game, and the Eagles knew that like they didn't really need to throw the ball because they didn't want to end up turning the ball over. So they're like, we're just going to end up running the ball. We're just going to run down the clock, take care of the football, not going to force it anywhere. And they did their job. They won the game easily and moving on to the Super Bowl. And it should be a good game to watch, I think.
Yeah. You could tell I was very impressed because the one big like big thing I wanted to look out for in this game was how the line was going to hold up. And the Eagles were very impressive. Like they only gave up 1 sack, which is impressive with how good of a defense the 49ers are or were, I guess. I mean, now they're done, but I was expecting Bosa to get into that action a little bit, but he seemed like he was uh, unable to do anything. Yeah, and it didn't even matter if Jalen Hurts needed to pass the ball at all. They were just able to run the ball at their own will. He had to make a couple plays here and there, like the Devontae Smith pass. I thought that was a hell of a pass. Like, although it was
It was not a
incompletion,
completed pass.
I know that was
Wow.
That was good on Nick Sirianni's
disgusting.
part and just getting up to the line and snapping a play real quick.
Well, no, Devontae Smith, he was
Smith, he
like telling
signaled.
everybody, yeah,
Yeah.
like, come on, let's go. I did not make that catch. Like, let's
Yeah.
go.
Well, but along with that, that's the coaching decision to like, hey, let's get to the line and like actually snap the ball. Like,
Right.
and then you like have to wonder what was Kyle Shanahan thinking about. Like he didn't throw the red flag. Like he just he choked on it and just kept it in the pocket. Like he thought it was a good catch, and I mean it looked like a really good play. It looked like
I mean
catch,
the game is going so fast you can't really judge it, and they're also on the road, so you're not getting the big board review at all. So they're as the home team, that's what you want to do. You don't want to show the replay until after the next play is over. So
well, from what I also heard is that they didn't get like they saw a different video angle or video replay that was not shown to like any of the broadcasters or whatnot until after they had came back from a
Commercial break.
commercial break. Yeah,
Mm,
they
Yeah.
were they were like
Hmm.
they even said like they just saw this recent video and was like, yeah, it clearly states that, or it clearly shows that he did not catch this, and we like at the time
didn't see
didn't
it
have
yet.
this
Mhm.
footage because it wasn't given to us at the moment.
I'm
Like their
very
fourth or
intrigued.
fifth video to even be seen.
So what do we even get to know? Like what footage do they even get at the coach? Like in the obviously this is all done in the booth. Uh, the
Well,
coaches don't have it on the sideline. Like
up
what
I
do
think
they
up
get?
in the they have
Right.
they have coaches and
Hmm.
other like media talent that are up in the box that can determine like based off of what they see, and I think they just get like either an all 22 footage or like snippets of what
Yep.
uh the broadcast is showing them, and they can be like they can radio down and just be like, hey, like we need to challenge that right now. But clearly if they were watching the broadcast, like the nationwide broadcast, they didn't show that in the first
Yep.
two
No.
video playbacks that they gave. So like they had no idea if it was a catch or not. So they couldn't really give their honest opinion on that, and that probably played in factor as well. But
Yep.
it is what it is. Like you're obviously not going to be able to watch all the video at once. Like you have to play through them, and it just so happens that that video was down the line and they couldn't see it right away. So it
So
sucks, but that could have swung the game a different way.
I
However,
saw
Really.
a
however,
meme.
it
No, it
doesn't
wouldn't have
help
been
that he
anything.
got hurt still. So
Right. I saw a meme that said like, okay, 49er fan, you can stop crying now. We changed the score. It's now 24-7. It's like it wouldn't have made a difference at the end. So yeah. Anything else you want to add, Mike or Nate?
I say we get to the other game where people are crying about.
Yeah.
yeah, okay, we can get to that one now. I was gonna try and find a video that I was gonna show about the one touchdown that the 49ers scored, and
Oh,
it was it was like a meme of
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey, and
Yeah, he's a stud.
it was uh it was the video of the longest yard where Stone Cold runs the ball and then he runs over to the other sideline and was like, "That's how a white boy runs the ball."
Oh my gosh. Oh
I
yeah.
thought that was funny. I was like, "Oh my gosh."
He's honestly. Uh, I mean, we're not racist here, obviously, but
Okay,
I
even
can't tell you who another white running back is as good as him in the history of football. You would have to go back to like the early '50s or some shit like that.
Payne Hillis.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
No.
You gotta put your mic closer. We can't hear you, man.
I
I
can.
don't know. He's not. He's not a Hall of Famer at
No,
all.
he played like 2 seasons. He was good for 2 seasons though.
Yeah. He was on the cover of Madden.
Yeah, he was. That's probably why he went downhill. The Madden
Yeah.
curse, man.
I think it was like
Yeah,
Madden
that's pretty funny.
12 or something.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, well, we can be done with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So
That
let's
trash
go ahead and
game.
move on to the AFC game. What was it? Kansas City Chiefs 23, Cincinnati Bengals 20. A hard fought battle down in Arrowhead, not Burrowhead, sadly. Arrowhead.
No longer.
Um, let's go ahead, Steve. Give us your thoughts on this football game.
My heart rate was probably like a consistent 160 to 180 the whole game. It was pretty exhilarating game, I want to say. I thought for a moment Burrow was gonna shine at the end with 2 minutes left to go. Like that was a prime time to do a 2 minute drill down the field, set yourself up for 2 minutes or for a field goal, and take another win out of Arrowhead. But man, the defense for the Chiefs was able to step it up. And I didn't think Burrow played his best game at all. I don't know if that had anything to do with the weather, the elements. It looked like his ball were not zipping like they used to. But you gotta tip your cap to the Chiefs. They play a really good, hard fought game all around. Mahomes is the GOAT. Like we stopped talking about him being the GOAT because he's like everybody else is down here, and then Mahomes is up here. So it's like, what's the point of talking about him? You gotta like try to fill in the content with everybody else, basically at this point.
Hold up, Steve. Before you continue that, though, is it really Mahomes' greatness, or was it a conspiracy theory and to where the refs threw the game because the NFL is rigged?
I've been seeing that. Although I was
Rigged,
cheering for
question
the
mark?
I was cheering for the Bengals hard time yesterday, because I needed them to win. But there's like, what made the Bengals fans think that everything was against them? They were
Okay.
tugging on them the whole time. That like those are the stuff that
There is like clear video evidence of things that could have been questioned off as what were the refs thinking in this scenario. I'm pretty sure the refs ended up giving, those phantom fifth downs to the Chiefs because, apparently they ran a 3rd and 9 play and then called it back and said, no, we're redoing this. Sorry. The play was supposed to be stopped, but we let it happen anyways. So you had that. And then also, in those final 2 minutes, you did have, when Burrow was driving, you had the intentional grounding penalty come out with 15 seconds left in the play clock of the next play, because the refs, apparently they're able to talk it over and determine if it is a intentional grounding, and that's how they determined it right before the next play was snapped. It's questionable. He did have, I think it was Pirine right out there, like 5 yards, maybe 7 yards down the field. It was questionable. Like, I don't think
it was in the direction of him for sure. I thought,
the line of scrimmage, which is what it has to be.
Yeah.
But then the next drive on the Kansas City Chiefs drive, Mahomes had a very similar play with Kelsey that was down the field, and it looked like, Mahomes had the pocket squeezing on him, and he just jumped up and threw the ball to the ground.
Yeah.
But that wasn't called. So what are we doing here? And it's clear that on the video replay that, granted, Burrow's ball may or may not have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and Mahomes' ball barely got over the line of scrimmage. It's just that you could clearly see that he intended to just spike that ball on the ground.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. He just was like, okay, we're just going to live for the next down. But like, you call it one way and then you call it the other way the next time. It's just like, where's the consistency in the NFL refs these days? Because like, not only did that happen, then you have a non-block in the back call on that punt return. There's actually 2 of them.
That one was.
There's
bad.
2 of them.
I do remember.
I saw that live, and I was like, that's coming back.
There was one
literally
where
pushing him like.
Yeah. There was one with the
obvious.
double team on the gunner, and then there was one that there was a gunner that got down there, and the guy threw his body into his back, which I'm not sure on the rules, but like I'm clearly certain that you're not supposed to throw your body into his back and push him. So like that should have been called as well. And then let alone you had another play, that final play on the 3rd and 4 with Mahomes, where he was running out of the pocket, but I think it was Hubbard had gotten held by the left tackle, clear as day. He was up and under the shoulder pads. not allowed to do that. So I don't know what the refs are looking at. Clearly your QB is in the pocket and the left tackle is right next to the QB. So what are we looking at here? I'm not saying this because I'm trying to persuade
No,
myself as a Bengals fan. I just wish that they would have been consistent with.
You're onto something for sure. I think it's one of those conspiracy theories that the Chiefs have to be in the Super Bowl every other year, right?
Yeah, they're trying to
Yeah,
make him
gotta
the
make
next
it
Tom
Brady.
Brady.
Yeah, like
You
They
have to
do.
have that one guy that's going to dominate the entire rest of the NFL field.
right.
But
It's what
why?
makes
Why?
NFL so good.
But
Yeah.
why?
I don't know, because the Bengals were in it last year. They want a new story. The Eagles versus
But
the
Mahomes
Chiefs.
was in it the last. This is what his fourth time in the last 5 years.
Third. He
Third
only
time in
made
the last
it.
5 years. No,
Yeah.
his third times in the last 4 years because he didn't go last year, but he went the 2 years before that.
Yep.
So yeah, third time in the last 4 years. Why are we trying to make him the new dynasty? Like, there are other teams that have great quarterbacks in this league, and it seems like the NFL is trying to persuade the Chiefs, who will have a State Farm cover athlete, who are going to go ahead and play at State Farm Stadium in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
I'm not
there's-
trying to throw
that's
that
not
out
the
there.
reason.
Are
That's
you-
not
you
the
have
reason.
tinfoil?
That's
I've
like the
heard
last
those
thing on my
conspiracy
mind.
theories as well.
You got tinfoil next to you? You gotta put that hat
Yeah,
on.
sorry.
That is
Where's
crazy.
my
Come on
wallet?
now.
Yeah.
That is reaching at that point.
Dude, that's
I
a good.
found those conspiracy theories, and I thought it was funny.
That is a far reach.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys saw it is pretty true.
Yeah.
It's just funny how
Alright.
it plays out.
Do we just stop right there? Put a new media in because we're about to be.
Now,
of
well,
time.
I got.
No, we can
something to
finish
say.
out this topic. Go ahead.
I got one thing to say. Chris Jones is an absolute game wrecker.
Yeah.
And the Bengals online, I mean, they just gotta figure out at some point.
It was
That-
meant to be.
that
They were
lost
on
them the
their
game.
third string. It was meant to be.
Yeah,
Like,
No, it's just
Bengals'
so
offensive
bad.
line was not. They weren't
Yeah.
their starters. They did everything
no.
they could in the offseason to improve their offensive line. However, they were still hit with the injury bug.
Ow.
You can't do anything
It's
about
just-
that.
It's so unfortunate for them. I mean, it was bad. all
who's
around.
your defensive MVP, Nate,
Nick Bosa? Easily.
for the Chief game?
No, for
Are
the
you
Chiefs
saying
game?
of
I'm sure
the
you didn't play
year
that
or
game.
the Chiefs
Of the
game?
year, it was Nick Bosa. For the Chiefs game, it was Chris Jones for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
No, you
Makes
can't
sense.
put Nick. Wait, Nick Bosa's on the Chargers, right? I get them so confused.
No.
Nick Bosa's
Joey.
on the 49ers. Joey's on the Chargers.
Joey
Yeah,
is.
yeah, you're right. I
Yeah.
get them confused. It's hard, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's hard to confuse him for greatness, It's although I don't think Joey's all that good. He might be a little overrated at this point.
Stats were pretty good this year.
Were there? I
I'm pretty
honestly
sure he had
haven't.
over 10 sacks.
Double digits.
Did he have more stacks
pretty
than
good.
game played?
I don't know. I don't really look at the stats that much. That's Nathan. He's our data analyst.
Yeah. What's
Come on,
going
Nate.
Get
You're
on
our
that.
data analyst. Get
You
on it.
know, I
Did our executive
football-
producer not tell you to come up with our data analysts?
Right.
that's like on the spot data. That's
Dude,
pretty tough.
Are you too
I can
worried about
find
the
it, though. I can
lasagna?
find it, though.
Computers full of stats.
Let me
Are you
find it.
worried
Alright.
about the lasagna, man?
No.
Lasagna
You
can
guys,
burn.
you guys keep talking your talk. Keep the conversation going. How many sacks he had?
I mean,
Yeah, come on.
Overall,
Read this
that
right now,
game-
right now.
He had 2.5.
overall, the game was pretty good. It
Wait, Joey Bosa?
Yeah, 2.5 sacks this season.
Oh,
that's terrible.
That was awful. Last
Yeah,
year he had
Mike.
10.5.
Oh, that's
I
what I'm
told you he
thinking. I
didn't
was
have-
thinking of last year. Sorry, my
Yeah,
bad.
This year he was.
Or you were probably thinking of
awful.
Nick Bosa.
Yeah, probably.
Nick Bosa, I want to see how many he
17
had.
sacks, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, he was crazy on that defense.
My bad.
Yeah, come on, Mike.
Let's see what Nick Bosa had. 18 and a half
Yeah,
for Nick
he's a
Bosa.
stud.
Yeah. Yeah, he's insane.
He will
So,
probably be candidate for defensive player of the year. So
He will win
Right.
it.
yeah, probably on the
He'll win
NFC
it.
side.
No, it's just one overall.
No, I
across
thought
the
they
league.
no, I thought they have two.
No, it's one overall.
Is it one?
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
You
TJ
guys,
there,
did
so
you guys care much about the commentators? It seems like everybody getting less interested in
Romo.
yeah, Romo. He's getting less interesting every game that he calls, which
Well,
is
he just keeps saying the same thing over and over.
right. He goes, I don't know, Jim. That could
Yeah,
be
I
the
don't know,
game
Jim.
changing play. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, Jim.
I don't know,
This
Jim.
right here.
I don't know, Jim. That might not. That call might be brought back.
Well,
I
he's
don't
still
know,
better.
Jim. That might be the greatest play in the history of football. I don't know. Like,
He's
bro,
still
it was
better
10
than,
yards pass.
I don't know, Jim. It looks like his knee is down right there, so it's not a forward pass. He's down by contact right there. I don't know, Jim.
I don't know, Jim. Like, bro, come on. Like, I don't know. He got that bag, so he might just be half-assing it at this point. So
I think
I
he's
don't know.
trying. It's just it's hard. He's a former quarterback. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
yeah. Tough for him.
Yeah. All right.
Is that all we're gonna talk about this game? Well, we didn't really even talk about it, other than
Yeah, we did.
I guess we
Yeah,
did.
it-
Mahomes is good.
Yeah.
Burrow
Mahomes
didn't have his
good.
best game.
Right.
The
Burrow
Chiefs
wasn't
kind of
great.
It was a close game. Good. The ref
Yeah.
sucks.
the Chiefs
Yeah,
paid
ref
the
suck.
refs. Yeah,
I guess one other final
yeah.
touch on this game. Should that been a flag? That last play of the game.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah, that play should have been. It was 100% called correctly.
Okay.
It
Dude
was a
is
layup.
stupid though. Dude
I've
is
seen
dumb.
a lot of
Hey,
talk on social media
Don't
saying
talk about how he's dumb. It's the heat of the moment. You probably would have done the same.
He in the moment, but like,
Yeah.
man, that's
The
tough.
one video I saw of his linebacker teammate just like
Yeah,
dissing him as
Jermaine
they're
Pratt.
walking back to the locker room. Like, you can't do that.
No.
I would hate to have him and just see him in the locker room the next day and be like, what the hell,
Yeah.
dude?
it's tough. Yeah.
But then
It-
seeing what's his name, the other defensive lineman there was standing next to him during his interviews, and just like making sure,
DJ Reed.
making sure those journalists weren't asking dumb questions and just like
Yeah.
being human about the entire situation.
Right.
The
But
dude
he
did
already
play
feels
game,
so
though,
bad
up to
about
that
it.
point.
Yeah. So I guess we can wrap that part up, all the championship recap, and go on to a little bit more football.
We are going
talk.
to-
However, whatever. Next segment, it is give me the honest truth. So with this question, it is, where will Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers go for this next year? Who wants to start?
I want Tom Brady, or no, specifically Aaron Rodgers, just to get out of Green Bay. Anywhere out of Green Bay. I don't care where he goes. He can retire. He can go anywhere beside Green Bay. That's all I care. Where do I think he's going to go? I don't think he's going to go to the Jets. He got to go to an AFC team. The Jets, it's too young for him. The Colts, they suck. The Raiders, I think they're just overall bad. That's a strong contender, I would say. But I think the place that he's going to end up is the Titans.
I have the same for Aaron Rodgers. They're gonna end up cutting Tannehill, save themselves a bunch of money
Oh yeah,
by cutting him. Uh, and they'll find receivers somewhere. I mean, Treylon Burks will do all right, and they'll
yeah.
even, I mean, they'll have to probably trade their pick to the Packers anyways, but they can find receivers somewhere. They're a good overall team. They could use them. Uh, and I'll go to my next topic. I think Tom Brady is going to the Raiders.
I
Great.
don't. Not after yesterday's game.
Gators.
You think so? You think he's going to the 49ers?
Absolutely. I think Shanahan is tired of seeing his quarterback uh, break their ankle, break their arm, break any part of their body. Like, I can't believe the 49ers are this unlucky. Like, literally, all their injuries is something to do with their bone breaking or their ligament tearing in half. Like, it's not just a dink here and there. It's literally their body falling apart. Like, how can you be that unlucky as a organization? It's just yeah. So I think Shanahan is gonna be like, he'll probably get the text from Tom Brady. He's like, hey, you want me to come over and help you guys win a Super Bowl? And he's like, well, I mean, I do want to win a Super Bowl. You beat me the last time I had a chance. Uh,
So
and
clearly you listened to part of my take this morning.
no, I did not. I listened to Colin, but
Uh,
that is, I mean, I bet everybody was talking about it. That's the hot topic right now. I
Yeah,
think literally everybody was talking about it.
I've been hearing Tom Brady to the 49ers a lot, just because for said reason, like Tom Brady is durable. He has shown that like he
Hmm.
will make the right play and he won't put himself he won't put his body on the line. Um to
He
get
plays the same way as Jimmy Garoppolo, and they made it there with Jimmy Garoppolo.
yeah.
Uh, except Tom Brady is much better than Jimmy Garoppolo. So why not just have Tom Brady in and he'll just not fall in or break in half like the other quarterbacks have been.
It will be interesting to see how all of it plays out. When when you guys said Aaron Rodgers to the Titans, I honestly did not really think about it.
He has a home there.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that being a possibility. The only thing that I saw recently is that I saw I think a Bleacher Report news article that was saying that the Packers were kind of looking to part ways with their QB because they
mhm.
kind of think that it's just time's up, like we need to move on, go in a different direction, which might be Jordan Love's time.
Yeah, they gotta get
Um,
him in there at some point.
so as Bear fans, we love to see that. Time to get rid of
Jordan
that old man.
Jordan Love cannot be a third consecutive good quarterback, right? There's no way.
We don't know that. Like,
There's no way.
well,
It can't.
Brett
Can't
Favre
happen.
taught Aaron Rodgers, and apparently Aaron Rodgers was trying to teach Jordan Love the same way. Like
What is it? The drug that he would take in
ayahuasca.
ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he
Yeah,
teaching him how to take that?
yeah, he probably is. He's probably telling him all the nooks and crannies of it and
Yeah.
trying to give him everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anywhere beside Green Bay, that's all I care. Um, could I also want the Bears to be able to like do one last ass whooping, although they
Mhm.
never really whooped his ass, but I want them to like beat his ass one last time.
Yeah,
Um,
but they'll be fine. We can have Justin Fields be he can be the king of Green Bay here soon. That'll happen. Get
yeah.
back on the topic though. Um, Aaron Rodgers, I didn't really think that he would go back or he would want to go to Titans, although you brought up that great point that like they are in need of a QB. Like their QB room is not great. They're gonna have to trade picks for him, most definitely. Um,
If you had to make a trade, if you had to creative package, what would it be? I already have one in mind.
For this exact situation?
Yeah, Tennessee and Green Bay.
Well, you're gonna have to give him. You're gonna
Pick
have
11.
to give them your first and probably maybe a second.
That's fine.
It's either 2 picks or you give them a first and a somewhat good player.
Special guest here.
Special guest Drewy. What
Special
up?
guest.
Hey, buddy.
He's going to bed.
You going to bed?
Good night.
Night?
He's going to bed.
Hey, you look tired.
Sleep.
Yeah, I love you. Yeah, I love you, everybody. Oh, you're right. Yeah. The package, I honestly think, because we were just talking about like Tennessee not having any wide receiver. Obviously Green Bay is not going to give up their best wide receiver, which is Watson. What if Romeo Dobbs goes with Aaron Rodgers to Tennessee? They had a pretty good connection before he got hurt towards the end of the season. He needs somebody that he has a connection with. Put that on Tennessee. Give them the first, obviously. Maybe a couple of seconds, and then another late round pick. Call it a day, because you can't give up that many
Yeah.
picks, because you don't know
No,
if
you
Aaron
don't.
Rodgers can call it quit after one season.
Mhm.
So that's the thing.
Probably
Like,
would go.
Tennessee also needs an O-line really bad as
Yeah.
well. They're struggling.
Well, they're
and
injury prone.
offensively.
yeah,
But yeah. And also, it'll be fun to see how Aaron Rodgers plays with such a dominant running back like Derrick Henry. Because Derrick Henry needs the ball in that offense. Because he needs
Yeah.
to get at least 1,500 yards. Because he's so unstoppable.
Yeah.
Tom Brady. Mike, you said the Raiders?
No, I could see him possibly going to the 49ers. I think that's most likely what's going to happen.
Oh. Okay, what do the 49ers do with Brock Purdy and Trey Lance then?
Get rid of Trey Lance.
I-
If Tennessee doesn't take Aaron Rodgers, trade Trey Lance to Tennessee,
Hmm.
get a couple late round picks from. He's basically you just gotta get rid of him. You gotta cut your losses.
Yeah.
It's not working. Shanahan doesn't really like his style of play. Like, I'm pretty sure he never wanted him from day one. When they first drafted him, that was not his pick. They literally traded up to get a quarterback, and they picked maybe the worst quarterback out of the class. Honestly,
No,
oh,
Zach
no,
Wilson.
Zach Wilson.
No, yeah.
Zach
Trey
Wilson.
Lance is talented. It's just he's not in the right system.
Yeah, he needs something different.
Which is Tennessee would be ideal, I want to say, because they're a run dominant
Hmm.
offense, and he can just literally fit in that system, just run the ball basically all the time,
So you
pass
think
here
a
and there.
3-team trade will be in play?
That never happens though, right? I feel like I've never seen a 3-team trade in the NFL.
Yeah, that's
I
rare.
feel like it's happened, but like, I mean, if 49ers need, wait, no.
No, you
That
would have to send Trey Lance to
Yeah,
Green
sorry.
Bay.
I don't know
You
why.
literally just do.
Well, no, I was saying you
separate trades.
send Trey Lance to the Titans. Or wait, no. I don't.
Send Jordan Love to the 49ers, Trey Lance to Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers to Tennessee.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know what I was trying to fix out there, but regardless, I think we can probably just move on from that topic. I think enough has been said.
One last
Last
thing.
thing. Okay.
Derek Carr to the Saints.
Honestly, I'm over Derek Crowder. He's washed.
He's not that
He'll be a
bad.
backup somewhere. He'll be backup.
No. I
Backup?
I
He'll
think
be
he'll
a
be a
starter.
starter for sure.
Well, if
But
not a starter, a backup. I just don't know where he will start. Like the Saints is probably a good idea. You know, the Colts have been thrown out there.
Nah, they'll draft a QB though.
They
they
will, but you could
they need
still.
to start from scratch. Like the
Yeah.
Colts. Come on, Michael. We need them
I
as a
know.
trading partner.
I
Yeah,
know.
trade with the Bears.
Let's go.
He's a free agent. You can still sign Derek Carr.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he
You have
is.
to trade for him.
Yeah,
No,
well, they
he's
got to
not.
cut him first. Which is, I
Well,
don't know why the Raiders
Yeah.
probably
they're
will.
like they're just throwing these trade ideas. They literally have to trade them before the end of the Super Bowl, I think, or they have to cut them, or if they don't cut them, then they owe them like $30 million. Like the way they structure that deal was bad
Uh-huh.
on the Raiders' part. Good
Yeah,
for
he's still.
Carr. I mean, he was smart.
Yeah, he's got like an extension, 3-year extension last year.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's a lot of money to just cut.
yeah.
Some team will have to trade for him. And I think that some team will be the Saints because they're desperate. Because they don't have a first round pick either.
Um, yeah. So we're gonna move on. I kind of came up with a title of this next topic or segment that we're gonna do. What I'm gonna call truthfully be told.
I like it.
Nice.
So, on our first topic of truthfully be told, we are going to discuss LeBron James and his recent outbreak over the weekend and how I find it hilarious that he acted like a 3-year-old, maybe a little bit older. You know what?
You
Let's
mean
go.
my son?
No, he acted like Lucas after we beat him in outdoor basketball because
Hey,
we
I'm a visual learner. I need to see
Yeah,
this.
I know.
So
We're going to
Yeah,
hold on.
you
I'm going to
missed it.
show you.
We're slowly
I'm
turning
going to
into the
show you the
rest of the
clip.
media talking about LeBron
Show you the
James.
clip here. So, as you can see, LeBron has been, trending on Twitter lately, and it's funny
Crazy.
I love it when he
because
goes to the ground. When he
yeah,
goes to the ground.
well, apparently he lays there on the ground for like 30 to
50
30 seconds or more.
Oh
it
yeah.
was like 57 seconds or
Yeah,
something like that. Right here. He's like,
his
oh my
team is in
gosh.
the locker room trying to, or no, his team is on the bench trying to drill up or draw up what they're gonna do, and it's
He's just laying there, man.
he's just
Didn't
laying there.
didn't Patrick Beverly take like the camera to the ref and
Yes.
show him? That
Yes.
was
He got D'd
hilarious.
up. He was like,
That was so
get
funny.
that out of here. I
But
know I
like
missed that call.
clearly, from a ref standpoint, they obviously they
What did this chick say? Travel on this drive? Did he?
Yeah, he did.
wait
Did he
where?
really?
He
Up
did
here. No,
travel.
right here.
He took like 3 steps.
One,
1, 2,
two.
Oh
3,
yeah,
four.
he came into that hop step
Right?
and
Uh-huh.
One,
gathered 1
Yeah,
2.
that's
two,
No, well that's one.
one,
He
two.
gathered, and he
Yeah.
on his
you
gather
gotta
he has
understand
his
the
one
step
plant
though.
foot, and then
No,
he
that's
hops into 2 steps. So that it could be considered travel. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell,
that's
but
too fast.
like the refs clearly stated after the game that they had missed the call
Right away. They
and they
knew.
apologized for missing that call. It's just that like it seems to be like a topic going on throughout all of sports, like refereeing and officiating needs to be more consistent.
Oh,
Um,
it's so awful.
but it's
The
just like
NBA is the worst
that's
at
Oh yeah.
officiating.
that's the human element of the thing, is that like not everyone's going to be perfect. Like you can't expect everyone to be perfect. Like are these NBA players perfect every single time, every single game? No, you can't be. So like
You
why do you
have to be.
expect
LeBron James was gonna cut you or trade you.
yeah,
You have
why
to.
do you expect the officials to be perfect then as well? Like they are humans, they mess up,
Yeah.
can't be perfect.
It's really tough, especially when you're on the court. If you've ever been to like any sort of like high level basketball game, they
Yeah.
move so fast while on the court. It's hard to see everything at once with only three guys watching 10 players. I mean, there's so many things that don't get called throughout the game. Like the guys are holding on screens all the time and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's so tough because guys are just so strong and so fast. You can't do
Oh yeah.
anything about it.
It's just it.
I'm a big LeBron lover. I think he's my favorite player in our generation. So, but I do think this is hilarious that he reacts like this. You're the best player, one of the best player in the NBA history, and
It's
one
so
call
funny.
doesn't go your way, you gotta react like this. Like, come on, man. Like,
I mean, Duke got on his knees and
yeah,
everything, and just like,
he looked like he's just
like
like
he just
he's
lost the
throwing
finals.
tantrum. This is what my son does. I don't I don't get it. Like, bro, it's not the NBA final. You're literally 22 and 26 right now.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Lakers are
Like,
bad.
sh-
I don't know why
gather
they did.
yourself.
Gosh,
I
tired
will
of the
say Pat
Lakers.
Bev is probably the funniest guy to have on your team. Hate playing against him, but he's probably the funniest guy to have on your team. Like, the shit that he does is beyond us. Like, I don't I don't know how he comes up with it. My favorite meme of him is when he like gets on the score table and throws his jersey out and stuff like that,
Oh, when
and then they circle back around and
Yeah.
like show him crying. That's
when
a
the Timberwolves made the
oh yeah,
playoffs, that
yeah.
was
That's
hilarious.
anytime I see that meme, is it makes me die and laughing. It's the best.
But yeah, so is that all you gotta say, Nate, about that topic?
Yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. I just hope, in
What would
terms of
happen if
NBA
Coach
talks,
Wolf
trade
decided to do
trade
that?
trade deadline coming up. Gotta do something with that.
Who are
Nate,
they gonna get? They, they don't have anything.
I don't know.
I
I
Nate,
did
mean,
see
not much.
I did see earlier today mentioning that they could do a 3-team trade uh, involving Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, and then another aging veteran. I forget who the other player was. Um, the Laker getting Chris Paul, would that help?
Uh, yeah, I can't wait to see Patrick Beverly and Chris Paul on the same team. That'd be hilarious.
that would not work out.
That would be so funny.
They said
I mean,
that
Westbrook and Beverly somehow working out all right.
yeah, they hate each other.
Yeah, it's going okay.
Yeah,
But anyways, thank you for having me on. You guys can
Yes,
start your golf
Nate,
talk.
thank you. Thank you for joining us this week.
Very
Appreciate
hungry. I
your
got
commentary and your takes. Steve and
you gotta
I,
fix your mic.
yeah,
best stats guy out
sign off. We will
there. All
see you
right, see
next
you.
time.
Bye.
God, now that that loser is gone.
No, it seemed like he forgot to do his homework. That's what it seemed like. He
Oh,
did not
probably.
do a good job today. We're sorry to all the listener out there. He's usually
He's
pretty
our stats guy. Growing
yeah.
up, he had piles of paper that just had random stats on it. Like, you got to do your homework. He clearly wasn't prepared. But now we get into better talk,
The best
uh,
sport in the
the
world.
best sport in the world that I am most addicted to right now, and that is golf. You can't say enough about golf because It is the retired baseball athlete sport, as what I currently am.
It's
I
it's easy to get into if you want to get yourself involved into a hobby that require wasting a bunch of money and time commitment. It's a good sport. Um, because you're able to do it by yourself. You don't need to have another person with you, uh, which is like I would say it's the best, the all-time great solo athlete sport in the world. You could literally do it anywhere in the world. Well, I guess not. No, I take it back. You can't do it in the winter up north when there's
well,
snow
but
on the
yeah, that's
ground.
where you just move south and play a course
Yeah.
down south. Like
Yep.
you can really play it anytime, anywhere.
Yeah. This
Um,
is the lot of content right here, Mike.
I know
Really digging deep in this.
we got a lot of controversial topics to talk about. Well, not really a lot, but we got one big controversial topic to talk about in this last weekend of the DP World Tour out in Abu Dhabi, with Patrick Reed and Rory. So a little bit of backstory though before we get into this. So apparently Rory was subpoenaed by Patrick on, I think it was Christmas Eve. I don't know
Yep.
what for, but apparently Rory was enjoying a dinner with his family, and a lawyer comes up to him and hands him the subpoena, and let alone it was from Patrick Reed. I don't know what, like I said, I don't know where it stemmed from, but like clearly you're gonna be griping with the dude that just subpoenaed you, and Patrick Reed goes up to him trying to say like, hey, like what's up, hello, like nice to see you, good to see you're out here, and Rory was just not having it. I'm gonna try and share my screen now to kind of show you. So, like, this is the video right here. You can kind of tell he goes to walk up to him, not really having it. He says hi to his caddy. Rory is just still there and flips his tee at him.
Honestly, Rory was doing the mature thing. He was just trying to mind his own business and not get into a heated argument. Because if I was in his position, he said it best in his post game interview or whatever, saying like, if I got a order like a subpoenaed uh, at me, like I'm not gonna be wanting to shake your hand and have a civil uh, conversation with you. Like I'm pissed. Like we were just having a Christmas dinner. Like Rory, of all people, is probably the nicest uh, golfer in the world. I don't know who could be even nicer than him. Like he's honestly one of the nicest golfer there is. He helps out in this in the society. He never says anything bad to another golfer unless he really wants to be heard. I mean, that's about the only time he really starts chirping. I feel like that's part of his game that he just needs to let the PR do a thing. Like he really just needs to stay out of that political talk. But every rich golfer gotta be able to contribute somehow. So I, yeah, it's just like one of those things. Because Rory and Tiger are super close, so they want. I honestly, I think he's speaking up because him and Tiger have this like new, uh, what is it, exhibition match series, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah,
coming up in
about
the next year or two, and it's obviously conflicting with the live golf, where it's like going to be this secondary league, whatever you want to call it, to PGA. Well, that's not no longer the case because live is uh, in existence right now, and Patrick is probably one of the face of live golf. Here he is coming up to Rory. He's like, "Hey, bro, like just checking in." And I honestly like what a douchebag move to throw a tee at him. Like, what are you doing? Like, so childish. Like,
Yeah, it's
I
very
don't get
childish.
it. Like, what were you trying to get out of it? You knew you had cameras on you. There's no way that nobody was gonna capture this. So
Yeah,
he either was trying to make a point, or I don't know. Like,
I
he's
think
making him. Yeah,
I think it was funny because then he kind of, stemming off this kind of gave him some bad karma because like
yeah.
apparently Rory finishes a stroke above Reed in the final standings, and Rory went on to post back-to-back birdies in those final twos to win his first start. It's kind of funny
Did
because
they did they pair up in the
yeah,
last?
they were paired up in the last round, and
Dang, that's awesome.
um, so clearly you're walking down these holes and you see Rory post back-to-back birdies, and you're like, oh
Yeah, you're
crap,
not winning today. No
what the
way.
hell's going on? So
Yeah.
I find that pretty funny that happened. It's gonna be interesting to see how everything goes on throughout the rest of the season. A long year ahead of us. Rory has yet to play on the PGA Tour. We will probably eventually see him do that in the coming
He
weeks.
normally starts around he does the Genesis Open, which is going to be the end of middle of February.
Yeah.
Because we're coming up on Pebble Beach.
I don't think he'll be there. I know the weekend. I think the weekend after that is the Waste Management. I thought he possibly would show up at that.
Super Bowl weekend is Waste Management,
Yeah. So
and then Genesis is after that.
I think maybe there's a chance that he might show up at the Waste Management, but if not, you probably could expect him at the Genesis since that is
It's
Tiger.
Tiger. It's
Yeah.
Tiger's tournament, so that's why he always shows up. Um,
Um.
which he's going to be one of the favorites to win that tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody is hotter than John Rahm right now. He's playing insane golf right
Well,
now.
I mean, now that you mentioned that, you can kind of almost throw
Yep. Yep.
Max Homa into the conversation because, like, this was a crazy stat that I saw. So 6 years ago, Max Homa he lost his tour card because he missed 15 of 17 cuts in the Corn Ferry Tour, and that was 6 years ago. And I heard a funny story. It was after he missed his last cut in the Corn Ferry Tour, he was pounding beers in the beer tent and just getting hammered as like the round was finishing. And like it just shows you how much 6 years can, do to a person. A lot of things
Yep.
can happen. And so he won his sixth tour title in the Farmers Open, arguably the fifth major in the PGA Tour. Um, it
What? Really?
yeah,
The
it's
Player Open. Come on now.
no. The Farmers Insurance Open is up there. They
It's
need to
the
have
Player
more than
Championship.
four. They need to have more than four majors. They can include the Farmers. They can include the Players. I think they should also include the Waste Management. Um,
What?
it's just,
Then what the point of having majors?
well, they have so many tournaments, right?
Yeah.
They have tournaments almost every weekend. Like
Right.
you should have more.
You
At
gotta
least
be able. You gotta be able to magnify um the major tournament somehow. So that's why you have four.
well,
Regardless, these
you can add
tournaments that you're
them.
naming, the big players usually play in them, so it doesn't matter if they need to be a major or not. The big name usually show up and play.
I guess
Uh,
you're true. I guess you're right.
and this year, for the first time in the PGA history, they are raising uh, the winning payouts to all the players because of the live tournament or live golf. So it's a big plus for them to be able to see more big names show up in these bigger tournaments, which is going to be exciting. I honestly, after football season is over, this is all I watch on Sunday. It's golf.
I mean, what else is there to watch? There's like you
There's
don't really
college
get into
basketball.
basketball. Well,
Right.
college basketball, yeah, but like NBA basketball, like to be honest, I'll watch. Actually,
Right.
I won't even really watch regular season games. Maybe if like it's on at home and
Right.
boys are watching it. But like I'll just tune in for the playoffs. I tune into the Bulls and what they do sometimes. But like
Yeah.
NBA is just it gets boring. I'd rather watch more baseball just because I mean honestly I've played it growing up
Right.
and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But
like
baseball doesn't start
yeah,
until April, so
exactly.
you have like a dead period,
Yeah.
which is great for golf, and it usually has like 5 out of the 27 graded tournament to watch, anyways. So it's like perfect time for us to watch as we're trying to ramp up March Madness and get into baseball. It's just like a perfect little segue to the other sports that we like to watch. But circling back to Max Homa, he is like growing on me as one of my favorite golfers to watch in the last year or so. I've been following him closely, noticing how much progress he had made. Uh, I I will always love that he joined the Pardon My Take podcast talking about his like his progress in his career and stuff. And it's just so funny that the hosts were like, "Oh, I see that you're making uh, pretty good strides during the regular season, whatever the regular tournament schedule, but on the majors weekend, you like to take the weekends off. That shows that you have a good work-life balance. Like, can you talk about a little bit more about that?" I thought that was so funny. Like, obviously he's not trying to miss. He's not trying to like miss the cut or anything like that. It's just so hard to
Yeah.
focus. Like, there's a whole new like level of golf for the major championship. Like Brooke Koepka, for example, you never see him win any of these like uh regular weekend tournament, and he always seemed to find a way to win these majors. It's just sad that we don't get to see him as much as we used to. So
Yeah, now he's over there playing live,
exhibition, man, making millions.
making a lot of money for it. So,
Yeah.
um, kind of got the time rounding down here. So I think we're just gonna wrap it up. Um, this was episode 4 of the Honest Truth Sports Podcast. Uh, we appreciate you guys listening to this. Be on the lookout for a potential just solo episode later on this week. More details be probably described on my Twitter account. Anything else you have to say?
No, I was just gonna say thank you for having us on, and look forward to joining you in the future.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. We're gonna probably. I like doing this. You know, I like having you guys on. It gives
Yeah.
me some other
Give you
opinions.
more content for
Yeah,
sure.
more content, more opinions to talk about. So it's not just me rambling on, and that can kind of get boring sometimes. But
Right.
I know it'll be a lot of editing for me to do and a lot of putting stuff together.
We're gonna get you an intro, a badass intro. The executive
Down
producer is
for
working
that.
on that. So
Yeah, I know she is. She's doing hard on that. I appreciate the help you guys are doing. But yeah, I think we are just going to go ahead and sign off for today. Yeah. So appreciate you guys listening to episode 4 of the Honest Truth Sports Podcast. Are you tired of the fake hot takes? Well, this is the episode where we only speak the truth, no BS. You can also find this episode on YouTube. I forgot to mention that. I will be out there if you want to watch that. If not, there will be an audio file. Once again, the Honest Truth Sports Podcast, where we put the realism into journalism. Thank you very much for listening. Peace out.